So the date is September 3rd and my E36 body has finally been delivered. Excited, I can't wait. Like, that chassis we've been waiting for, oh my god, it must be 9 months now. I'm working with someone for the first time on it. I've never put a roll cage in a car before yet, and I want to make sure that it's done correctly, that it's done by someone who's does it as their main source of business, and the quality is acceptable. You could say that I'm happy with it and how it turned out. Some minor adjustments here and there, but that's pretty normal, you know, when you're making stuff like that. The only concern that I have is that it took this long, you know. Like I said, I gave it up to the shop last year and it's now September and they're only delivering it now, or rather I've picked it up. So it could have been done a lot better, but it is what it is. And the project can finally keep moving now, which is a relief because I've been dying to get this car on the road. I've had all these parts for ages and they're all stacked up and taking up room everywhere, and my place looks like a warehouse. So I can't wait. I'm really excited to get this build going. The only issue is that it's now September 3rd. I decided to skip the third round of Drift Matsuri because, you know, when I joined the second round and I had the Genesis is a great car. It's got the full drift suspension, drift springs and coilovers on it and all that stuff, bushings, it's complete. But the engine's really lacking because I decided with that car, as you know, that it would be my seat time car. And a seat time car means a car that doesn't break down, that's solid. And for me, I wanted one that handled really well, you know. So I invested on the suspension and got the best of what you can get for the Genesis, but only did minor stuff on the engine. And it, at this point, requires a standalone ECU, and if I'm gonna invest in a standalone, you know, I'm just thinking like I've got the E36 project, and if that's gonna be my main comp car, what's the point in investing still in the Genesis, you know? At the end of the day, being half German, I'm like a Euro kind of guy, and I really favor more European cars. I love BMWs. We've had a myriad of BMWs in our family over the years, and I grew up around them, and they have a lot of sentimental value to me. So I really want to rep BMWs on the competition circuit, or even just on fun drift weekends, you know. There's a lot of JDM cars here and not too many people use Euro cars, so I don't know if it's really a great idea to force the E36 issue. I'll probably just take it on the chin and drive the weaker Genesis as hard as I can. The Genesis is on about 220 horsepower, which is actually less than stock, less than it was when I bought it, you know. But I won't get into it now, but that's why it needs a standalone. We've performed upgrades, but because it hasn't been tuned, we're not getting the maximum out of the components. So I'm just gonna have to drive the car as hard as I can and just have it on the rev limiter the whole time, so that it's remotely competitive. It's true, you know, when you drive an under horsepowered car, like, to keep up with higher horsepowered cars, you need to drive the wheels off of the thing, you know. And I guess that's good for my practice. It's just not how I wanted to compete. I want to compete with equal equipment, you know, and give myself a good chance to to win a battle or two, but we're not at that level yet. So I hope that it looks a lot better than it did before. I basically asked them to add a couple of support beams in the roll cage that were not there for the seat belt and for the dash area, and remove two tubes that they had welded to the back of the trunk, just because the guys who made the cage are more into rally, and they did like a rally cage setup, and in drifting you need specific crumple zones in the rear and in the front to well, basically to have allowance and cushioning, because it's normal that you impact the wall or your competitor or whoever you're driving with, you know. So if you don't have kind of space for the bodywork to crumple, you'll end up ruining your chassis and possibly even bending it, you know. So I asked them to seam weld it in certain locations, which they hadn't done before. And I know some people say, you know, seam welding is really necessary. Some people say it's not. If you want to have good grip, you need some good chassis flex too. But I'm just going at it from the safety aspect. The E36 that I picked up, it was a barnyard find that I got for like 200,000 pesos, you know. Luckily with docks and everything, and the interior was intact, but it was, you know, sitting in the jungle for a while. So I just want to make sure that if I put 450 horsepower in this thing, that, you know, there's some kind of structural stability, because I would like to reach at least 50 years old if that's possible. Anyway, yeah, let's see what it looks like. My Sylvia, by the way, which is another project altogether. Look at this. There we go. Forgot that it's a double pull. And I need my other arm. No one noticed. No one noticed. Good. Like that at the track for like okay. All right. We are putting a 1J in the engine. Why the f is it blurry, man? Okay, we are putting a 1J. All still stock stuff. Stock. But yeah, that's the 1J and the Sylvia. I actually like, you know, a lot of people. So this Sylvia, like, it didn't come with a 1J originally. It actually came with an SR20, and the SR20, the oil pan was like by the previous owner. He like drove it over a bump or something. So whilst that engine was being repaired, I bought a 1J for the E36, and because the E36 wasn't ready yet, I figured it would be better to put the 1J in the Sylvia first, so that the engine itself doesn't get like ruined or anything like that. You know, like you can turn the engine and like maintain it, check up on it, rather than it just sit around. So, I mean, a lot of people would say this is like the end build as well, 1J and an S14. I probably would agree with you ultimately, but I'm kind of an Adam LZ fanboy a bit, and BMW with a 1J, I mean, that's just, you know, E36 with a 1J is still it, man. So yeah, we're gonna put that here. That engine.